How are you, Sheila?
The Sheila Mack Show, reality at its finest. Here we have real people sharing real stories and actionable steps to help you reinvent, rebuild, and reboot your business and personal life on your terms. I'm your host, Sheila Mack, and today we have a very special guest. We have Storm, and he is actually a Tony Robbins corporate trainer, a national speaker at Peak Performance Strategist, and his mission is to help clients break down the limiting beliefs that have been holding them back from producing the results they want in their business and personal lives and replace them with new empowering beliefs that will help them get clear and get moving in the right direction. Bill brings his expertise as a former member of ClickFunnels, registered speaking team, and corporate sales training to his work at Tony Robbins. And he also works with clients that benefit from his expertise for 37 years of success and experience. Bill entered coaching through his first job as a martial arts instructor and coach back in 1988, where he fell in love with the opportunity to make an impact in people's life. And he has been a lifelong student of Tony Robbins. All right, welcome to the show, Bill.
Wow, Sheila, thanks so much for having me.
All right, and I like to start this show out based on my new best-selling book, Bootstraps and Bra Straps: The Formula to Go from Rock Bottom Back into Action in Any Situation. That's how this show came about. I'd like to hear about a time in your business or personal life where you experienced a tough situation and how you got back on track.
Oh boy, that's a fun question. I'm going to take you back in time, back to 1998. Okay, we're going to go back to 1998 because that's actually when I launched my very first business, when I became the CEO of my own life. So here's the story behind that. So one of the things that I really valued more than anything else is when I decided that I wanted to have a family. I wanted to be able to show up as that kind of husband, and I wanted to show up as that kind of a father for my kids in the future. That was there for dinner. I didn't miss any games. I didn't miss any concerts. I just didn't miss anything. And the reason that was such a big why for me was because I didn't have that when I was a kid. So that was really, really important to me. But the problem I had was the job that I was in. I had a corporate job. Literally didn't give me any of those freedoms at all. I mean, it literally owned me. And I just knew that if I kept that path going, that I wasn't going to be living my best life. So I had to make a decision. I had to make a decisive decision. But the problem is at that time, my wife was 9 months pregnant. This is like February of 98. And she obviously had to stop working to prepare to give birth. And she and I had a conversation. And I said to her, I said, listen, if I don't do something about this now, if I don't make my move, right? If I don't make my move now, I'm going to be stuck in this, right? And at that point, I literally walked in and I quit my job, right? So talk about pressure. We say pressure creates diamonds. Well, you have to be a pressure player. And luckily I was, because I literally walked in and quit my job that day to start my own business.
Wow, that's incredible. That's wonderful. So, yes, so I am so excited and grateful to have you here today. And I can just go on and on about how many wonderful blessings I've had being able to attend all of Tony's events over the years. And actually, I brought my family to Tony's events, and we did a whole travel tour and everything.
Oh,
And
wow.
it was the best investment I ever made for they were teens. My youngest were teens at the time. So it was just the best time to have these type of lessons, life lessons, real people in their life to help them grow up into the wonderful people they are today. So, and they're still studying and learning and attending events. So it's wonderful. Thank you. Yes. So I'd love to hear more about all that you're doing. This is a really special invitation for those on here as well, because I'd love to share a little bit of Tony with my listeners.
Well, what's fun about this workshop that we're going to do is it's a mini version of Tony's flagship event, which is called Unleash the Power Within, as you know. And really what we're going to do is we're going to dive in and talk about our limiting beliefs, patterns, and habits that have been holding us back in all different areas of our lives. When you take a look at your wheel of life, you've got your career, you've got your finances, you've got your health, you've got your relationships, all of those things. And you know as well as I do, right? If one of those things is out of whack, it really affects the other areas of life. So for example, with your relationships at home, if your relationships at home are a mess and there's some sort of tension or stress or something like that, it bleeds over into your health, like your mental health, your physical health, and it makes you less productive. You can't stay focused. So we're gonna talk a lot about that. And I think what happens with most of us is we get into life, and when we first start out our lives, we're excited, right? We've got big dreams, we've got big goals, we've got an idea of what we want our lives to look like. But then we get into life, and sometimes we start getting dragged through the mud a little bit, right? And we're no longer living in spirit. We're just kind of grinding it out. But the problem with grinding it out is, just by definition, the definition of grind is to wear something down. And that's what a lot of us do. We wear ourselves down to the point where we end up breaking, right? So what we need to do is become conscious for the first time in a long time on what the limiting beliefs, patterns, and habits are that we have going on in our lives that are holding us back. So now we can make a conscious decision to do something about it.
Yes, that is so important. And, through the trainings that I've had, it has been such a gift, because life, if you live long enough, you're going to go through some ups and downs. It's
Oh, yeah.
just part of life. And that's the blessing, the gift, and the difficulty of life all rolled up into one. But for me, when I've had my hard moments in life, like losing my youngest son, it was really, that was a lot for anybody. And it was the training that I received that helped me to get back on track quickly, to help me guide my other children. I have 6. I adopted 3 of my own. So this big family, and getting everybody else back on track at the same time. And it's the training. It prepares you for things that happen in life. And it really gives you the ability to move forward and kind of go through those movements that you've learned to prepare. So it was such a gift. I was so grateful. And all my kids have also gone to all the events. So we were able to get into state, to really focus on positive memories and beautiful things instead of getting stuck. And that, it made a huge difference for us. It was such a blessing.
Yeah, I think where it really has a big impact, anybody who's really become successful in any area of life, usually we've all gone through some sort of pain where it was painful enough where it finally motivated us to make a move, right? To do something about it. Sometimes when you're comfortable, you don't really have that motivation, but when something is painful enough, you really do make your move. And that's part of my backstory too, as well, that I'll share during the peak performance workshop that we do. And once you figure out what your why is, you can really move mountains with that why, right? You have to have some leverage behind what you do. And Tony's just a master at that. And that's why it's so amazing to have the opportunity to be able to learn from him. And, I've studied him for, the past 35 plus years. So it's not an accident, right, that we're meeting here today. And I'll be able to share with everyone, because that was a seed that was planted in me a long time ago. And I can never I can never repay that. So hopefully I'm going to be able to pay that forward to everyone. And if anybody decides that they would like to attend one of Tony's events, we actually have 3 of them this year, which is great. So I'll share some dates on that. And the other privilege that I have as a speaker for Tony, I'm only one of 5 that represent his face and brand all over the world. But I'm actually able to give people a speaker discount on tickets, so which is just a nice little added little bonus.
That's incredible. So nice. And now the events are actually live and also online. Is that correct for all the events?
Yeah, it's really fun now, because with when COVID hit, right, it really shook the company up a little bit, because all of our events were always live, and all of a sudden we had to figure out a way to be able to serve at a higher level. And it's been a real blessing, because at the last online version of it, we had over 25,000 people from 156 different countries that may not have ever been exposed to Tony or been able to just have the ability to get here to the States to be able to participate. So that's been amazing. So we've got 2 online versions this year. And then we have a live event this year, which is going to be held in Dallas, Texas. That's going to be November 9th through the 12th. So excited about that. And the other thing that we're doing now also, instead of just an online in studio, when we do a live event, we're doing a live stream from the event, which is really great. So if you can't make it to the live event, you can still actually be a part of it, just like a fly on the wall, as if you were there.
Yes. Oh, that's incredible. I will be there in November. All right. I'm
Nice.
looking forward to that. Yes, definitely. And there's so much energy and benefit from just attending the events, even online. Especially, I attended the first UPW online after COVID. And that was a beautiful thing when we were literally locked in our state. We were locked down. So we were stuck in the house, and I had all the kids come over, and we were able to attend the event online. It was wonderful and such a gift. We really needed that. We had the Tony.
We did the same. I did the same with my family. We put it on the big screen. We stocked the refrigerator. We had water. We had food. We had everything that we needed in order to make it into a little event just for ourselves. And it was really great to be able to share that with the people that I love, of course, and to be able to expose them to everything that Tony had to teach.
Yes, definitely. Well, that's incredible. So it's so important to give yourself the gift of time, you and your family, to take care of yourself, and this personal development and being in a group of like-minded people. So as soon as you attend, even if it's the online UPW event, you get to interact. Even if you're home, there's breakout rooms and you're interacting with other people. And you get to meet people. I mean, I have friends all over the world from attending the Tony events online and in person that have really become my closest friends. And it's that peer group, because everybody's looking for the same thing, to improve and to be their best selves at the moment. Best parent, and at work, whether you have a career or if you're running a business, it's really important to have that refueling. Especially now, I mean, as a mom, to be able to be present for my kids, and I have some that moved back home while in college with everything going on. And so it's like this whole shift we've all had, and it's good to be able to refuel and recharge during this time.
Yeah, I agree with you. The two things I recommend to people all the time is, once a year, do something where you're fully immersed in an event like that. It's kind of like when you get on an airplane and they say, if there's ever a loss in cabin pressure, the oxygen mask will automatically drop from the ceiling. Be sure to put your own on before you try to help other people. And most of us spend so much time taking care of other people, we don't take care of ourselves enough. So UPW is like a 4-day, 50-hour immersive experience where you get to peel the onion and get to the core of who you are again and rebuild yourself up into that empowered version of yourself. And then the second thing that I always recommend people to do is they say, hey, listen, once you go to an event like that, you're charged up, you're fired up. But what happens sometimes is people, it becomes shelf knowledge for people, right? They take what they learn, they put it on the shelf, and they don't touch it again. So what I do kind of as an added kicker, and I think it's just because I've been a teacher for so long, I created a peak performance study group where, after the fact, and even leading up to the fact, as I have people come into my group, and we continue to train and study every single week. I go live every single week, and we take Tony's material and other material, and we break it down into 30-minute bite-sized pieces. So over the course of a year, if you show up every week, right, that's 50 hours of ongoing mindset training. What would happen if you did it for a year? What would happen if you did it for 2 years? What would happen if you did it for 5 years? What happens if you do it for 10 years? Who would you become?
Yes. And it really, having other people in the group and people to discuss and carry this forward with makes such a difference. I know my Tony peer group and the events that I attend, our masterminds online also, they hold you up, and they also pull you up when you're down. And
Yeah.
and that's kind of the kind of friends that you want when you need it. when you
Yeah.
need a good kick and a reminder to move forward, that's great, but also they'll hold you and hug you and love you through something as well. And so that is the beauty of having an aligned peer group. Oh my gosh, my beautiful friends in the group are just incredible and really an extension of my family. And my kids love them all too, and have grown up now that they're young adults. This is the group that they also tend to attract
Right.
is the like-minded young adults, even in their college and work careers. So it's kind
Yes.
of cool that way. Yeah, definitely. So now, how does this work? How would somebody listening in be able to attend? This is a special, a free event, and how does that work exactly?
So there's just a simple registration link, and all you have to do is register for it. It's completely free. It's going to be an hour of power. We're going to have a lot of fun, and it's not a workshop where I'm talking to you. It's not a boring event. It's an interactive workshop. So when you attend the event, you're going to want to make sure you're in a place where you can have your camera on, as though you're in person at a live event. So I can see you and you can see me. And then the second thing is you're going to want to try to block out any distractions, right? So the first bad habit we're going to break is multitasking, which we all know is just an opportunity to screw up more than one thing at a time. So if we're present and we're there and we're playing full out, we're going to have a great time. You'll have a lot of laughs along the way, but you're going to also have a lot of aha moments and light bulbs that are going to go off in your own head. And this is really going to be, an hour to an hour and a half, depending on if I go off on any tangents with stories and having a good time, right? But it's really going to be all about you. And I think everybody will get a lot out of it. So all you have to do is just click on the link to register and join us.
Yes, and I will have that link available on the show notes. We're here with NBC's KCAA Radio, and that will go out to radio, TV, and all major podcasting channels. So if you don't see it in the show notes, then we will also have that link available based on my YouTube channel or SheilaMack.com. That link will be everywhere. So you will be able to attend. It'll be in all the show notes so that you'll be able to attend. And I think it's so important. What I have found as a mom, and also running, I have some businesses that I run as well in leadership. The work that I do on myself, it shows up with my team members. I have a big team in Beverly Hills with real estate, and with my children, even if they're not attending, if they're too young, it shows up because as I work on myself, it's not what I say as a parent or a leader, a boss, it's what I do. It's how I'm being and all I'm doing. And that is going to make all the difference. So when you show up, you're investing in yourself and anybody else that's in your circle of influence. It's going to make a
Yeah.
big difference for you. Yes. All right. All right. Well, Bill, is there anything else you'd like to share today for our audience?
I think just doing something very simple. And, Tony always says that when you need to make a change, you just got to make your move. You just got to do it. And one of the fundamentals that's helped me more than anything else is just the simple practice of showing up, right? If you want to get good at something, just show up today and then show up again tomorrow. And then show up again the day after that. It doesn't matter where you are. You don't have to be incredibly intelligent or athletic or have a special set of skills. The people that do really well over time are just people that just simply show up for themselves. So make the commitment right now. Just go to the link and sign up and register. And once you register, my goodness, please don't register and then not show up, right? Block it off in your calendar and make sure that you attend this thing live, because this is going to be all about you. So that would be my best little bit of advice. Just show up.
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. And Bill, I always ask my guests, do you have a time that you can go back and think of when you were younger what advice would you give your younger self? Let's just put it that way. What advice would you give yourself?
Well, that's an easy one right now. I've got a daughter that's 24 who's going to get married this year, which I'm excited about. And I have a mini me. He's actually bigger than me, but he's 21 years old, my son Billy. And the advice I give them is simply this. I said, listen, it's exciting, right? It's exciting to have great ideas and to be ambitious and to have goals and all of those things. But what you really need to do is you need to take a little bit of time to be still and reflect about who you are as a person, who you want to show up to be, and stay in spirit, right? Don't ever lose that sparkle in your eye. My son's amazing. He's, Mr. Dimples, personality, big smile. And I said, don't ever lose that sparkle in your eye. Stay in spirit. Figure out what your calling is, how you can serve people at a very high level, and focus on those things. So don't chase money. Instead, just chase the idea of remaining in spirit and enjoy your life, because you don't know how long you've got, right? So yeah. That's really what I share with them on a regular basis to keep them grounded. But then the follow-up part is what I just said a few minutes ago, is show up for yourself. Take the time today, take the time every day to condition yourself to become better at the thing that you want. It's simply a matter of a few simple, Jim Rohn said this, right? It's just a matter, success is just a few disciplines practiced daily. That's all you have to do. Just a quick example. Yes. One of the things that when I was back in high school, I lived in Syracuse, New York when I was in high school, cold, snowy place, right? And I studied Spanish as a second language in high school. Well, nobody really spoke Spanish up in the Northeast there at that point. So it kind of fell by the wayside. And all these years later, now I live down in sunny South Florida, and there's a lot of Spanish speaking people down here. So I decided to download the Babbel app to give myself a refresher and try to become fluent in it again. And I use that example with the kids. I said, every morning when I get up and I go out and I take my dog for a walk, I've got a 2.5-year-old golden retriever that I love to death. I said, every single morning as we're going for a walk, I turn that app on and I do one of the lessons in Charlie's my pup. So Charlie and I learn Spanish together, and it's just simply a matter of that discipline of every day doing that lesson. It only has to be 15 minutes, but if you show up every day for yourself, right, over the course of a year, right, you can literally master something. I mean, you can give yourself a Ivy League education by just simply learning every single day. And most people just don't. So that's just a quick bit of advice for people. Whatever you want to do, you can master it. You just got to show up.
Exactly. So I hope you all show up with this special invitation. Again, look for the link. And that will be on the show notes and also on SheilaMack.com or on my YouTube channel, Sheila Mack Show, as well. All right. We hope to see you there. I will be there as well. Thank you again, Bill, for being a special guest on the show. And for all those tuning in, we'll be back after these moments. Thank you again, Bill.
Excellent. Thank you, Sheila. I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you. Take care. Okay.